Welcome back to Insibbles, everyone. Again, going over our intraday swing and long perspective as we're leading into Fed minutes on Wednesday, where we will get an update on how restrictive our monetary policy is. Again, this is after our higher than expected, although lower than our prior month's CPI. Again, that is our inflation report. And then on Thursday, we had our PPI report coming out higher than expected and higher than prior, giving us a gravestone doji, and we did continue on lower here. Now retesting our 20-day moving average, as we do have a possible cool down here with our increase in sell pressure that we have been getting and our 12 crossing below our 26 at this point in time. I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for going into this week, what will be the bullish case scenario, and what exact levels are we going to be expecting a possible bounce from to possibly continue this bullish momentum. I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for here. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and if you are a day trader, if you want to see pre-market news that you want to be watching, if you're looking for data sets that you want to be watching, for example, 30 minutes before market open, the market very much does react to certain data sets and you didn't know that they were coming out, or 30 minutes after market open if you guys are trading out the gate movers, or just looking for those major volatile breakouts on news that we mention every single day in the Insibbles room, go to insibbles.com in the description below. And for only $15 a month, you will never miss a breakout alert today. Again, let's jump into this one. So jumping into the spy with you guys here, looking at our intraday perspective off the bat here again, following Thursday's gravestone doji and now dropping below our 20-day moving average here, retesting here as we are closing just below our 20-day moving average, very much testing, bouncing off of our 405 level here again, not holding below our 405 level. We did drop below it intraday, although we did have a bounce here on this candle, closing higher here on the day. So again, very much testing 405 and then retesting our 20-day moving average here as we're leading into Wednesday's Fed rate hike. Again, we will see exactly what the Feds mentioned after an increase in PPI. We have not had an increase in inflation for about 3 months, and we have not got that increase in unemployment that Powell has been mentioning that he did need. So in my opinion, going to tomorrow, as we are anticipating leading into Wednesday's Fed minutes, I definitely would be careful. Again, we could assume that we may have that continuation on that anticipation that we had from Friday and possibly continue on lower here, or we will possibly have an indecisive candle as we could possibly have a better than expected Fed minutes come out. And again, that could possibly happen. So again, the market may decide to end with a doji candle, but in my opinion, pressure is definitely not to the upside. Going into Tuesday, we very much are anticipating the Feds possibly giving us an outlook on more restrictive policy to come, and that will give us a possible outlook on longer restrictive policy to come as well. So again, keeping that in mind as we're leading into Wednesday's Fed minutes, that we are cautious, again, going into tomorrow. And again, with our increase in sell pressure that we have just been starting to get here, again, we got our white sheet of line, sell pressure coming in, indecisive here as we were leading into PPI. And then we very much got that decisive move here, increase in sell pressure after our PPI, again, inflation report came out higher than expected on Thursday. And then we followed with that anticipation as we are leading into Fed minutes on Wednesday. On Friday, we had that increase in sell pressure. So again, making sure that we are careful to the upside as we have our 12 crossing below our 26. If we're looking for any bullish momentum, if we're going to be looking for any bullish candle setup here, we very much will be looking for our 12 to cross back above our 26. And until that does happen, we are definitely heavier to the downside than we are to the upside. So again, keeping that in mind. Now, if we do have more restrictive policy to come, if we do have a possible sell-off, the question may be where exactly may we have a bounce at, and I would be paying attention to our trend line here. And if we did close below this trend line, we can assume a continuation on lower. But if we did have a pullback, again, this would almost be exactly here on our 50-day moving average for that possible continuation. So if we have a bounce, again, confirmation on that bounce with possible hammer candles coming out, again, 1/3 of our candle being the body of our candle, showing us a hammer candle that can be that confirmation on a bounce here. But as far as that continuation, we definitely want to see if we can close back above our 20-day moving average till we do possibly continue on higher. And again, making sure our EMA lines do cross higher here, or else we will not continue on with that strength that we've been getting recently. Now, looking at our swing perspective, again, we do have our 20-weekly moving average that is curling up here, which again is why we will stay on watch for that possible continuation, even if we do have a pullback with Fed minutes. Looking for possible increases in unemployment that could possibly turn around what we could have a possible pullback from. So again, keeping that in mind, if we do have better unemployment numbers coming out, which it seems like it is possible, then we can cross higher here. And in my opinion, we very much are getting that possible narrative, which we still need our 20-weekly moving average to cross above our 50-weekly moving average. Make sure this actually does cross. But again, getting that data on increases in unemployment will be very key. So if we do have a continuation lower this week with Fed minutes, then we will be looking for that retest and possible cross with our 20 weekly moving average above our 50 weekly moving average. That will be the watch this week. If we do possibly continue on higher, again, we do want to continue on past 416 intraday to possibly hit 421. So keeping that in mind, if we happen to have a bullish Fed minutes, then we can possibly retest our 421 level, in my opinion, if we continue on past 416. Now, looking at our overall strength from our swing perspective, we have been getting a cool down here, again, decreasing in buy pressure, although our EMA line's crossing above the median of our MACD here, showing us that possible continuation. So again, as long as our 12 and our 26 continue on higher here, then we have that possibility of that continuation. As you guys can see prior, when we did have our EMA lines crossing higher here, we did continue on higher, even though we did have a pullback with decreases in buy pressure here. We did continue on higher with our EMA lines. We continued on with the rally here, as you guys can see here, continuing on for quite a while. So again, keeping that in mind, we are still on watch. Even if we do have a pullback, even if we have a bearish Fed minutes on Wednesday, we still possibly can bounce back and continue on higher. So again, that is why we will keep that on watch, and keeping that lower trend line on watch on the daily chart for that possible bounce as well will be key. Now, looking at our long perspective, looking at our monthly chart, again, keeping in consideration that on our monthly chart for the last couple of weeks that I did mention, we have been considering that we were retesting our 20-month moving average, and that could be a pullback intraday, and that's very much what has been happening recently. Keeping that in consideration, again, our long perspective here is that we are very cautious still to the long side. We do not have our 12 necessarily curling up too much here. We did get some bullish momentum because we did curl up slightly here. We moved over to the side here, but we're looking to see if we can possibly continue to curl up here for more intraday and swing momentum. But we ultimately want to see our 12 and our 26 crossing here on our monthly chart. If this does not happen, then in my opinion, longs are cautious. As you guys can see prior, we did cross lower with our 12 and our 26 on our MACD. We have been continuing on lower for the duration of that time. So again, keeping that in consideration that we need to cross above here as far as our long perspective goes. And again, that will be the watch going into this month, is to see if we can possibly close and continue on higher with this retest. So again, that's what we will keep in mind. Now, again, jumping back to our intraday perspective to recap here, again, if we do have a pullback, we will be looking for that possible bounce here on our trend line that we have been getting, or we will possibly continue on lower and look for that possible bearish candle setup to continue on lower below that trend line. So again, that will be that bearish or bullish case scenario, looking to see if we can close above our 20, or if we do close below our trend line here, which in my opinion would be below our 50. Now, again, with that said, if you are a day trader, if you're looking for pre-market news that you want to be watching, any data set that you want to be watching out for example, there's many times where data comes out 30 minutes before market open. You may wonder why the market reacted the way it did, or maybe 30 minutes after market open, or again, Fed minutes on Wednesday. We mentioned anything that you want to be watching. Go to instables.com in the description below. And again, for only $15 a month, you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And again, all of you instables taking what the market gives us, as we have been. Hope you guys enjoyed your 3-day weekend. We are going to be going back at it tomorrow in pre-market. We'll see what the market gives us going into tomorrow as we anticipate Wednesday's Fed minutes. We will see what Fed minutes gives us. If we do have a pullback, again, looking for speculative movers. And if we do have a continuation on higher, looking for those strong news continuations is what we will continue to stay focused on. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.